They say every performer has a moment, one single breath, where the world slows, the lights soften, and the heart finally speaks louder than the applause. For years, he had been the man who could fill any room with laughter before he even opened his mouth. The kind of charm that didn't need effort, the kind of warmth that felt like a hug from across the screen. But this time, something was different. Everyone felt it, even before he said a single word. He walked onto the set with that familiar bounce, that playful sparkle that always made the crew shake their heads and smile. But behind the sparkle, there was something gentler, something softer. Like a man who had spent weeks holding onto a secret, his heart wasn't quite ready to say out loud. It began with the pauses, not the comedic ones he was famous for, no, these were quieter. He'd drift off for a moment, eyes distant, like he was watching memories played just behind the camera lights. The crew whispered among themselves, not out of gossip, but out of concern. This wasn't the man who usually cracked jokes before 9 a.m. and made everyone forget they'd been standing for hours. Still, he worked. He smiled. He delivered every line with that golden voice that somehow managed to be both mischievous and comforting at the same time. But you could tell he was carrying something heavy, like a suitcase full of moments he wasn't quite ready to unpack. The final recording of the season was supposed to be simple, light, fun. Just another day with the man who made millions laugh without even trying. But as the cameras kept rolling, the air shifted. Without warning, his voice softened, softer than anyone had heard in years. He thanked the audience, the crew, the people who had been with him through every early morning, every long night, every costume disaster, every unscripted moment that somehow became iconic. His words floated across the studio like silk, tender and trembling at the edges. Then he said it, so quietly the room forgot how to breathe. Every journey has its last stop, and sometimes you just know when it's time. The silence that followed wasn't just stunned, it was sacred. Even the lights seemed to dim themselves. When the cameras clicked off, he didn't leave right away. Instead, he pulled the closest crew members into hugs, long ones, warm ones, the kind you give when you're saying something without actually saying it. People cried. People laughed through their tears. Someone joked he was ruining their makeup, and he responded with that crooked grin that could melt brick walls. But even through the humor, you could see it, peace, like a man finally choosing himself after years of giving every piece of his soul to everyone else. For him, it wasn't about quitting or escaping or disappearing. It was about reclaiming the quiet moments he had missed. The lazy breakfasts, the family evenings, the nights where he didn't have to memorize anything except the sound of the people he loved laughing beside him. His family had been waiting, supporting, nudging him with gentle "it's okays" whenever he confessed he was tired. They had seen the strain long before the world did, and now, standing on that set for what might be the last time, he finally let their love be louder than the spotlight. Fans around the world felt the shift instantly. Social media turned into a waterfall of memories, jokes, favorite moments, and heartfelt wishes. They called him the heartbeat of their evenings, the smile maker, the chaos bringer, the man who could make them forget their troubles with a raised eyebrow. And maybe, just maybe, that's why this chapter feels so tender. Because the man who made everyone else happy is finally choosing happiness for himself. Whatever comes next, whether he returns for special moments, surprise appearances, or simply enjoys life away from the glittering lights, one thing is certain. His presence isn't gone. It's woven into every laugh he created, every memory he left, every heart he lifted without even knowing it. And stories like his, they don't end. They become legend.